I'm concerned, but okay. So, um, so over the next 3 days, even more individuals have filtered in from the surrounding area, and a lot of the people in their farm homes have in the farmsteads around Parents Post proper have let in travelers. There hasn't been any sort of big problems or anything like that. Just the odd pickpocket or person trying to sneak in. But the rumors were very true that Finger is very exuberant when it comes to this. He has completely laid out an entire field area in preparation for this wandering troop to, uh, to come in and get themselves settled. There's banners flowing down, street lights and off the walls of the fort itself, and food has been shipped in, and a lot of the livestock has slaughtered in in the preparation of everyone here. Um, so I was gonna say, so sure enough, around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, a hovercycle runs streams down the road towards Parents Post, and sure enough, it's one of the outlying militia guardsmen who was doing the survey of the area. And he runs up to the guard post and he says, "Let Param know they're on their way. They should be here in the next 30 minutes or so." And sure enough, by this word has spread throughout everyone pretty much in Parents Post. And by the front entrance, um, kind of near where the field here, actually, let me just get us over to Parents Post proper, and I'll kind of outline the area where, because right now, um, as I get my draw shape thing, right now number 15 is just jam packed with people. So it's going to be kind of like this area here, right in front of Parents Post, has kind of been cleared out for them. Oh dear. Are you guys still there? Are you just
Yes.
listening
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I just
We're
want to make sure. Anyways, so a lot of people assemble towards this clearing area. Over 200 people are just crowding out to kind of see the first glimpse of these individuals coming through. And sure enough, front and center is Dan Finger Perrin himself. Even a lot of the merchants have kind of closed shop for a moment just to take themselves a peek. And even curiously, the very stern woman over at the Cyberworks tent kind of pokes her head out just to see what the big fuss is about. And sure enough, you see first in the distance kind of a bit of a dust trail. And you see a large caravan of assorted hover cycles, motorcycles, hover trucks, conventional cars and trucks, and a very large construction truck, flanked by two huge robotic vehicles coming down, plodding down the road. And at first sight of them, everyone starts cheering. There's a real energy, excited energy in the air. And sure enough, they make their way, and the crowd kind of dies down a little bit. And the endless storytellers, their caravan, this traveling show, they start to get themselves settled in the prepared area. There are militia guardsmen who are kind of flagging them in areas where to park their vehicles, and the robots and everything like that. And sure enough, the performers themselves, all of them are dressed in body armor and traveling gear. And they unload and everything. And everyone is, despite being excited, they don't swarm these individuals. A few people kind of run out to try to get an autograph from them right away, but are quickly urged to step back and give these performers some space by the militia. And sure enough, though, the performers themselves, a variety of both men and women, they pretty much look all human. They get their things together, pack up their bags, and they head towards the front gate. And sure enough, Dan Perrin is there to greet them. You can also be near the front of the line here as well if you want to have a really good vantage point. I'm assuming your characters would be curious enough to check things out. Am I right in that assumption?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, sure enough, the first woman to the first person to approach Perrin, she kind of takes off her mega damage armor helmet. And it's an attractive woman. She's in her mid 40s or so. She has stark raven black hair and deep green eyes, and a pretty pleasant demeanor. And she goes over to Perrin, and she kind of gives him a formal handshake. And he kind of scoffs at her and pulls her close and gives her a little kiss on the cheek as well, and a little embrace. And you hear him say, "Oh, Zoe, it's good to see you. Glad to see that you made another run just safe." And sure enough, soon behind her is a gentleman. He is in his probably early 30s, is a human male. He has brown hair with a bit of a roguish-looking goatee. And his body armor, you don't see this very often, but his body armor itself is inlaid with like fabrics and golds. Like it's very, very opulent, very flashy. And sure enough, he says hello to Perrin as well. He gives him a good firm handshake. And the first thing Perrin says to him is, "Caleb, you know what I want to hear." And Caleb goes, "Oh, come on, Perrin. We've been traveling for half a day. Can't we get something to eat?" And Perrin says, "Oh, no, 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 no. You know me. You have to sing for your supper. You know exactly what I want to hear. Sing all these fine people the Bard's song." And at the words of the Bard's song, everyone goes nuts. Like they're just cheering him on, egging him on. And sure enough, with a little bit of cajoling, Caleb assembles another group of about 5 men and 1 woman. And sure enough, they start this really nice a cappella tune without any sort of instruments. And they're broadcasting this sound, this music through their loudspeakers. Now, I actually have a sample of the song. This song itself, this is a bit of an homage, I'll just say quite clearly. There's a fantastic a cappella group or a music group called Van Canto, and I've kind of borrowed their music for this demonstration. So I have a YouTube link. It's up to you. It's a 3-minute long song. We can listen to it together, or we can play it in the background while I continue to describe the scene. It's up to you guys.
I'm fine listening to it. I'm fine either way, honestly.
Yeah, it's same.
All right.
I'll listen to it together.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So let me just give you, and I'll give actually, it'll be broadcasted to the chat in the group, so no big deal. So let me just put the link here in our Skype chat. And we'll just count down to 3 and we'll play it together.
All right. You guys won't be able to see it, but it's playing. Trust me.
That's fine.
Right.
Let me know when you are all ready.
I'm ready. And we actually happen to have a professional countdowner here.
Oh,
We do.
Ready.
I do.
You do. You do be
Not
professional.
quite sure that was the correct response, but yes.
Let us know when you're ready, Piff.
3, 2, 1, go.
Now you all know the bards and their songs. When hours have gone by, I'll close my eyes. In a world far away, we may meet again. But now hear my song by the dawn of the night. Let's sing the bard's song. Tomorrow will take us away, far from home. No one will ever know our names, but the bard's songs. There's only one song left in my mind. Tales of a brave man who lived far from here. Now the bad songs are over and it's time to leave. No one should ask you for the name of the one who tells the story. Tomorrow will take us away, far from home. No one will ever know our names, but the bad songs will remain.
On the final verse, everyone in the crowd joins
Neela's just screaming like, yeah!
So don't be afraid in the dark and cold, but the bad songs will remain. They all will remain in my thoughts and in my dreams. They're always in my mind. These songs of hobbits, dwarves, and men, and elves. Come close your eyes, you can see them too.
And with that, the crowd is just in an uproar. They're just yelling and hooting and absolutely excited that, sure enough, the song was sung and the atmosphere is completely jubilant. Even some of the more surly members of the militia and that kind of stern-faced woman working over at Cyberworks manages to crack a little bit of a smile. And with that great celebration, the entire troupe itself, not just the singers, but the entire troupe itself is kind of escorted in almost like a parade-like fashion down the main street, through the main gates, and into Perrin's home for a dinner. And Perrin actually, while people are getting assembled, Perrin leans over to your group, to your individual, and says, "Come have dinner with us. Might as well meet the folks that you're going to be traveling with, and I'm sure they'll like to meet you too." And interestingly enough, even though these individuals have mega damage armor and mega damage weapons, they are trusted enough not to go through the security check and go straight from their vehicles to the actual town itself. Yeah. So the idea of the festivities, you'll find out, is that the endless storytellers are going to are staying at Perrin's mansion, pretty much. They're gonna have dinner there. They're going to rest, and then right at the crack of dawn, 3 days worth of celebrations are going to be starting. So I'll get into more of that when it happens. But you guys don't have to go straight to Perrin's place, but what would you like your next actions to be?
Neela's gonna start running in that direction, so someone better stop her if we have other plans. 'Cause she's gonna be like, "Wait, what are you doing?"
I don't have any plans.
I don't have any other plans.
I would like to roll archaeology.
Archaeology? Oh, I see what you mean. See if you can't recognize the song as a pre-riff song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good job. All right, let's give us this a roll.
Damn.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Do I recognize it by sound? Or do I just kind of like get the name and go like, I think I might have seen this in some of the rubble?
You know what? I like to say you rolled so high, you don't need to hear the name of the song. You just overhear the tune and you remember either notes of it or maybe an audio log of it, or maybe back in your past an actual audio disc of this song being sung. And you just remember it instantaneously. And yeah, it just calls to your mind. Uh, um, but all right, so then it is fair to assume that you guys are gonna just. Well, Mila's already blazing a trail.
I will probably be like slowly walking, just kind of in thought a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Perrin's place is decked out to the nines. It's quite clear by his mannerisms and the fact that he hasn't stopped smiling since he's seen him come down the road that he's quite infatuated with this group. And a large banquet is laid out. Sure enough, the dark-haired woman that he initially greeted, she's pretty much at the forefront of the table. Of course, Perrin is at the head of the table, but it goes to this woman and then the man that originally greeted him that they made the joke about singing for your supper, the other members of the a cappella group, and plus assorted other individuals from the troupe. Of course, I'll introduce them a little bit later. Actually, you know what? Let's introduce some of the main players now. There's probably about, honestly, like close to 80 of these individuals, including like laborers and performers and security personnel. So it's not just one big ass banquet table, it's several of them, right? But you are invited to sit at the head table. And at the head table are, let's see here. Oh, Alicia has been invited as well, since she is going to kind of actually, wait. No, Alicia hasn't been invited yet. Sorry.
Aw.
Sorry, Alicia.
Mm.
Not yet. This is a special dinner. Alicia isn't special enough. No, she just wasn't around. Okay.
Outside.
Yeah, just sitting outside kicking a rock.
Everyone
So,
will come back.
so for the sake of simplicity, you are all introduced to these as you sit down, as you are escorted to the main banquet table. Perrin does some introductions, we'll just say. The first, you don't have to remember all these names either. I have them written down. So, but the dark-haired woman that he initially greeted, her name is Zoe Wedgwood. She's introduced as the head manager of the Endless Storytellers. The gentleman, the one with the goatee there, the one in his early 30s, his name is Caleb Everton. And he is pretty much the executive officer and head cantor, which means he's pretty much the head of the canto a cappella group.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a fellow named Giovanni Bonfield, but he's also known by his show name, which is the Firebrand. He's a 5'9" tall man. He's very wiry, thin, with auburn hair that's shortly cut. And right now he's smoking a cigarette, which he lights with his thumb. Kennedy Dodge. She's a attractive blonde in her early 20s. She's introduced as the individual's been offering medical treatment, pretty much the medic of the group. All right. And there is Siren Rycroft, and he is an elf, and he's a very, very fast talker. He's one of the first individuals you notice beyond introductions because he is extremely exuberant and extremely talkative and is just yucking it up with everybody around there. He's blonde. He has sharp facial features. And right now he's in the middle of trying to convince another DB, which is almost like a cat-like person. Think of like a Khajiit from Skyrim. Just like a full-on feline anthropomorphic individual named Moshanji. And he's right now trying to convince Moshanji that Parents Post has collapsed and this is an elaborate rebuilding. But Moshanji isn't taking any of that. He thinks Siren is full of shit. So pretty much. But that's just kind of an introduction to the other individuals who are at the head table here.
He doesn't have any goods to look at, does he?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't say, "Come look at my goods."
Mila sees the cat man and just whispers, "Mittens."
John G just ear flinches at that word, but doesn't register that you're actually saying it to him.
That was
So,
really creepy. I'm sorry.
all right. So for dinner there is a roast boar that's been prepared with applesauce. There are roast vegetables, breads, some savory meat pies, and of course wine, milk, fruit juices to drink for those who wish. So let's just say, instead of me role playing the entire conversation, Perrin has made an interest in introducing you, and we'll give you a chance to interact with whomever you want. Obviously, you're not all sitting down and eating right away anyway. This is kind of like a bit of a party, so to speak. So there's time to kind of socialize and mingle with other individuals. So I'll let you guys talk to whomever you want to on a one-on-one or several-on-one basis, and then have the meal. And then, as Perrin likes to do after eating, is kind of getting down to business and kind of introducing you guys on a more professional basis, informing Zoe of the contracts and all that sort of thing. But I think this is a good time to mingle, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, well, who would you guys like to talk to?
My character would probably shy away from the larger groups and probably look for maybe a smaller group of interesting characters.
Okie dokie.
I think Al would kind of stick around with Patrick. As weird as it sounds, he's a little out of his element. He's not quite sure what to do, and I don't think he would actually just go up and start talking to people. So he might just hang out with Patrick, someone
Okay.
he knows.
All right. Okay.
Mila might spot them, and if she does see them, kind of pull them in and be like, "Come on, let's talk to everyone. Come on, look at the famous people."
I guess Al would let Mila track him.
But if you're looking for sorry, and Tom.
Where's Tom?
How about you?
I'm going to be. I will go wander off with Patrick and Al, and then Kriana, or no, Mila will drag us all in.
Okay, fair enough. So Mila's gonna be the social butterfly for all you bastards, whether you like it or not.
You guys are so shy. Okay, we're gonna talk to the cat person first.
It's like a shopping list.
I love it. First we're talking to him, then we're talking to him. All right, so the cat person is very still, very polite. His fur is very light gray, I guess you could say, with white markings. And he gives a very polite smile to you and a little nod. And after introductions are made, he doesn't seem uncomfortable. He's just kind of like, what brings you here?
I like
Look over at Mila.
Mila's just
Sir-
like,
And then he goes, oh. He's like, okay, I see you're one of those people. And he says just politely, just don't try to take me home. I am a person, as they say.
"You're such a handsome little kitty."
I would kind of put an arm around Mila, but more restraining, but trying not to, don't worry,
Yeah.
she wouldn't do that. And then a little more firmly around her shoulder, she wouldn't do that.
Mila's just happily smiling. It's
Okay.
so nice to meet you.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you too. I have to say, if I'm looked on with excitement in in a person's eyes rather than fear, I'd rather that. It's just I've had one too many scratches behind the ear, and it's very too personal, frankly, for a stranger to do that.
Oh, Mila just kind of looks down, like ashamed, like she was about to do that, but that's just.
Enough. But are you guests of Fingers as well?
May I ask a question to you, Inferno?
Yeah, sure.
Would my character know the race of this?
Not instantaneously. Your character would know either one of two things. Either it is a mutant cat, very similar to like a mutant dog boy, which is an individual who was kind of almost like grown in a test tube, genetically modified, so to speak. Or it is a person from another time and place. You know what I mean? It's one of those two things.
I would mostly just kind of go, excuse me, I hope this isn't too personal, but would you mind telling me your race?
Moshanji says, well, I'm afraid I'm unique with my people. I was originally from Lone Star. I was a experiment through the coalition. They were breeding individual cats as hunters, and due to our independent streak, it didn't quite take. So I managed to escape. So unfortunately, I don't really have a people, just fellow prisoners, I guess you could say.
I would say Al would look around at the rest of the troop, and I'd say, it looks to me like you have a people.
Oh, yes, an adopted family, but he did ask me of my race, and that implied, like, you're humans, and, of course, there's Siren there, the elf. So I just didn't want there to be any miscommunication.
My character would give very, like, it's not common to see this, just kind of a warm smile from him going like, it's great to be unique.
Thank you. It's good to talk with open-minded people. He kind of gives a very appreciative nod, and his body language shows that he's relaxing quite a bit now. But he kind of just pauses, still not knowing what to say. And, well, I guess I already know your race, unless you're not human. But,
yeah, sadly, boring human.
like, well, travel along a little bit longer, and you'll find out that humans, it's all relative, I guess you could say. I'm sure there's horrible places where human beings are kept in cages instead. But let's not think of something that depressing, shall we?
Do you want to meet my squirrel?
Excuse me, is that sort of slang? I'm not picking that up.
No.
No, Jack. Wait, where's Jackie? Mila's just kind of reach over down her back and be like, "Yeah!" Just pull him out.
And he goes, "Oh, you've trained a squirrel, isn't? Sorry, what was its name?
Jackie?
Oh, is it a boy squirrel or a girl squirrel?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, well, it's very good to meet your pet squirrel." And then he kind of just takes an awkward sip of the milk that he was drinking. Goes, I think dinner's about to begin. If you excuse me, I look forward to talking to you all again soon. And
Nice
sure enough,
meeting you.
and he leaves politely, mind you, but just you know how sometimes people in the party are just like, "Oh, hey, there's Frank. I haven't talked to him forever. Excuse me," type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of just exiting himself from the conversation.
Well, that went well.
Mila's gonna lean over at Al. I don't think he likes you very much.
Al's just gonna, like, sigh. Like, it's not even worth trying to explain.
Yeah, Al, why are you so creepy?
And then I would look at Byrne and be like, don't you start too.